Hey yo, what's going on? It's your boy here, and today we're going to be doing the top 5 daily drivers inside of, well, Southwest Florida. These 5 cars are probably the best 5 cars you can get for just driving around casually throughout the day in Southwest Florida. If you don't want to drive any supercars, or if you just don't want to drive anything too flashy. But yeah, why don't we get into this video? Now, before we do, I want to let you guys know that I do get a Roblox group with Roblox merch. You can see right here, I'm wearing some very fancy high-pop merch. Also got a Discord group you can join, so if you want to join that and suggest car builds, car reviews, car ideas, or just top 5 reviews, or just anything in general, tell me that in my Discord or in the comments below. Also, I have some social you can follow if you want to follow those. Those will be in the description below as well. Yeah, my name is Hypod, do car reviews, car things, all our car stuff. So if you guys do like this video, hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that bell for notifications every time I upload a new video. But yeah, why don't we get into, well, our top 5 list. So, coming in at number 5 is the 2004 BMW M3, which is the coupe version. This is the BMW M3 coupe. This is 2004. And right here, this car is fully upgraded in gearing. I will be driving this car around and all the other cars, so for just a little bit, and then we're going to be switching the cars up. This car is $38,000, and I mean, it's just a casual, really casual car. I mean, it's not too bad, you know, it's just kind of like one of those cars where you can drive it around, and it's just kind of there. This car has really good turning, it has pretty good speeds, it sounds pretty nice, and it's just kind of inconspicuous if you think about it. I mean, it's just like one of those cars where you'll drive it around, and you don't realize what you're driving, you just kind of drive it, you know, you're having fun with it. But yeah, this car generally has really good turning, pretty good speed, and it comes in at number 5 just because there's other cars on this list that I think are just slightly better for just daily driving. But I mean, this car is still really good. It has some nice supercharger lines. This car is still fully upgraded with gearing. You can probably drive it perfectly fine stock. It is very nice stock. But yeah, I mean, this car generally just really cool. Also goes $250 if you really wanted to try. So yeah, this is the 2004 BMW M3 Coupe for $38,000, so it's not very expensive and also pretty good. But yeah, why don't we move on to our next contender? Well, not next contender, but the next person on the list, which is the 2019 Chevy Corvette Z06. This car is $69,000, a very good number, and it's just generally a really cool car. Okay, this was probably one of my first cars in the game that I've just like absolutely kept for like the very long time next to the Huracan. But this car right here is really good. I mean, it looks really good, it drives really nicely, and has a pretty good speed to it as well. So I mean, generally I think this car is just really good. And if they had body kits in this game, this car is just so much better. Okay, hear me out, this car has pretty good gas mileage too if you think about it. I had 6.2 when I just started driving there, at 6.1, and it's not going down like some other cars would. But I mean, it is really good. It drives really nicely. It doesn't hit a very high top speed even with upgrades and gearings like I have it right here. But I mean, it is still a very nice car. Like, I'll take turns with it. You know, it's just casual, nothing too crazy. It handles it really well. You go through all these turns, easy, light work. You just keep going, easy, light work. I mean, it's generally not a bad car. I put it on number 4 because, well, I like this car a lot. You know, I've had it for a long while now. And personally, I think it's a really good daily driver. If you're just trying to go around, have a nice little car to go drive, and just, you know, have a little bit of fun, you know? But yeah, this was my number 4. Why don't we move on to number 3 here? So number 3 is in, I broke it. Oh yeah, let's hop into here. So number 3 is in the hatchback section right here, and it is the Volkswagen GTI. This is the 2021 hatchback Volkswagen GTI for only $33,000. This car right here is fully upgraded right in front of me, but this car handles pretty much the same way stock, except for the speed, because the speed on this thing is absolutely insane. It's comparable to the other cars on my list. But yeah, it is just generally a really nice car. I mean, it just looks really casual. It looks really nice too. I mean, it's just like you pull out your driveway, no one's really expecting you to be going really fast, and the next thing you know, you're pulling up 270, 280 miles an hour, you know? But I mean, this car is really good. You have good braking, good turning. It looks pretty much inconspicuous. You're driving it down the road. RPs, you know, you can have this for an RP too. It's just generally also really nice for an RP, because I mean, it's a really good turning car, like I said, braking car, really good, I said. But then again, it just kind of gives the RP vibes, because, you know, it's more realistic to have a GTI than it would be to have a LaFerrari or a 720S or just any of the other hypercars you'd probably see people wanting to drive around during RPs. So this gives it a little bit more realism. It also just kind of gives it, you know, a little bit more cool, calm, collected RP type vibes, you know? So look, blinkers, car small, you know, you're driving around, you're having fun, you have a little bit of speed under the hood. But yeah, It's just my number 3 spot though. When we move on to the next car, which is the RS3 Sportback, which is also a hatchback. Now you guys see a pattern here. A lot of the cars aren't supercars, because if you're wanting a daily driver, it's one of those cars that shouldn't be like supercars, really flashy, really expensive. It should be one of those cars which are pretty minimal. This car also fits that because it's $58,000, which isn't very expensive. And this car also has fully upgrades, and it's really cool too. It goes really quick, it has really good turning, really good braking, like I said. For the other cars, I mean, it's also just generally a pretty nice looking car in my opinion. You'd be driving this around, you could probably do RPs in this. I don't know if they banned this car. I know they probably know it's really fast, but I mean, it is still generally just a pretty good car in general. You'd be driving this around bone stock if you really wanted to, and it will handle itself really well, except for when I hit the pole there because I wasn't looking. But it's just overall a good car too. It's pretty cheap, and it drives really quickly. I mean, this car probably has one of the fastest accelerations in the game next to the Venom GT and the CSS. And this car also hits around 270 miles an hour, so if you really wanted to upgrade this thing and also have a minimalist looking car which you can RP and drive around in normally, this car definitely checks those boxes next to the GTI as well. But why don't we move on to our number 1 spot here, which is going to be the 2022 Porsche Targa 4S, which is a coupe car, which is back here. Now you've noticed I've just done a lot of coupes in this thing, because a lot of the supercars aren't the best at turning and aren't generally the best at sports and all that. Now, this car isn't comparable to the rest of the cars as in braking, turning, speed, and all that. Right, this car is, well, you know, it has design. See, it's actually fully interiored, as you can see here. It's not like the best interior, but I mean, it has an interior, and other cars in this game don't really have that. So I mean, this car has a 1-up on that. It has a drop top roof, so if you really wanted to drive a car around, have a casual car that has a drop roof, which looks super cool, by the way. I mean, who doesn't want a car whose roof like goes in like that and just kind of like chills? You can also roll down your windows if you really wanted to. So if you're doing an RP and a cop pulls you over, you can have roll down windows as well. You also have a little bit of power under the hood, so you can still kind of drive around really quickly, but it's also just kind of like a minimalist car as well. It's not too flashy, but it's also not too expensive. Actually, it is kind of expensive. It's $142,000, but I mean, compared to the rest of the cars, I mean, it's one of those cars where you get the detail and design for the extra price, which honestly I'd pay the $142,000 for the design and price. And as you can see, the turning's a little wide on the car, but I mean, if you're driving it normally, you're not going to be taking wide turns, but that's just me. What do you guys think about my top 5 best daily drivers? If you did like these top 5, hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that bell. If you guys probably wanted to see a different car on this list, tell me what car you wanted to see on this list, because I'm kind of curious as to what you guys think are really good daily drivers. These cars are, in my opinion, good daily drivers because they're not really too flashy, they're pretty good generally, and then some of them just have really cool designs to it, like this one. But yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy this video, and I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.